The air hung heavy and still, almost suffocating. Dust motes danced in the slivers of light that pierced the gloom. This was no ordinary place of confinement, this was an Egyptian prison. Towering walls built to withstand the ravages of time, enclosed a world of shadows and despair. Hieroglyphs etched into the stone seemed to mock the prisoners with tales of pharaohs and gods. The stench of sweat, fear, and human waste permeated everything. Each day bled into the next, an endless cycle of drudgery and despair. Hope, once a flickering flame, dwindled with each passing sunrise. This was the reality for those unfortunate souls imprisoned within those unforgiving walls. But even in this abyss of despair, destiny had a plan. A story was about to unfold, a story of dreams, interpretations, and the enduring power of faith. Joseph, once a favored son, now wore the rough-spun garb of a prisoner, a stark contrast to the colorful coat he once proudly donned. Falsely accused of a crime he did not commit, he had been cast into this pit of despair, a place where hope seemed to wither. Yet even here in the depths of this dark and dismal place, his spirit remained unbroken, a testament to his inner strength. His unwavering faith in God was his shield, his source of strength, a light that guided him through the darkest of times. The other prisoners, drawn to his quiet wisdom and compassion, looked to him for guidance, finding solace in his presence. He had become their confidant, their counselor, a beacon of hope in a place shrouded in darkness, a light that could not be extinguished. One day, 2 new prisoners arrived, their presence immediately noticed by all. They were no ordinary criminals, their demeanor and attire setting them apart from the rest. These were high-ranking officials from Pharaoh's own court, the royal cupbearer and the baker, men of significant standing. Their arrival stirred the stagnant air of the prison, bringing with it whispers of the outside world, a world Joseph had almost forgotten, a world that seemed so distant now.
Joseph, these are the new arrivals, men of importance from Pharaoh's court, the cupbearer and the baker from Pharaoh's court, now sharing your fate.
Thank you, Warden. I will ensure they are settled. I will speak with them, and perhaps, in their stories, find a glimmer of hope for us all.
The cupbearer and the baker, haunted by their sudden fall from grace, were plagued by vivid dreams that seemed to hold a deeper meaning. They tossed and turned on their straw pallets, unable to shake off the unsettling images that clung to them, night after night. Word of their troubled sleep reached Joseph, who was also imprisoned with them. He saw in their eyes a reflection of the fear that gnawed at his own heart, a fear of the unknown and the future. He felt compelled to help them, to offer them a glimmer of hope in their darkest hour, despite his own uncertainties.
Tell me your dreams. Perhaps God will grant me understanding and reveal their meanings to us.
Intrigued by Joseph's calm demeanor and reputation for wisdom, they agreed to share their dreams. They poured out their hearts, recounting their strange and vivid dreams in detail, hoping for some semblance of meaning in the chaos that surrounded them.
In my dream, there was a vine with 3 branches laden with ripe grapes, almost bursting with juice. I squeezed the juice into Pharaoh's cup and presented it to him, feeling a sense of duty and honor.
In my dream, I saw 3 baskets of white bread on my head. The top basket filled with pastries for Pharaoh, delicacies fit for a king. But birds swooped down, devouring the food right before my eyes, leaving nothing behind.
The cupbearer spoke first, his voice trembling with a mix of hope and fear. He described a vivid dream of a vine with 3 branches, each one heavy with ripe, luscious grapes. In his dream, he squeezed the juice into Pharaoh's cup and presented it to him, feeling a sense of duty and reverence. Then, the baker, with a troubled expression, shared his own unsettling dream, his voice quivering with anxiety. He saw 3 baskets of white bread balanced on his head, the top basket filled with pastries meant for Pharaoh. But to his horror, birds swooped down, devouring the food right before his eyes, leaving him feeling helpless and exposed. Each image, vivid and symbolic, hung in the air between them, heavy with unspoken meaning and a sense of impending fate. The prisoners, caught in the web of their own anxieties and fears, looked to Joseph, their last hope in a world that seemed to have abandoned them. They clung to the possibility that he could unravel the mysteries of their dreams.
God has given me the interpretation, Joseph declared with unwavering conviction. For the cupbearer, the 3 branches are 3 days. In 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head and restore you to your position. You will once again place Pharaoh's cup in his hand, just as you used to do when you were his cupbearer, fulfilling your role with honor. And for the baker, The 3 baskets are also 3 days, Joseph continued, his tone somber. In 3 days, Pharaoh will lift off your head and impale your body on a pole, and the birds will eat away your flesh. The baker's fate was sealed, a grim and unavoidable destiny.
The weight of Joseph's words settled over them, a mix of hope and dread as they grappled with the stark realities of their interpretations. The prisoners, now bound by their dreams and their fates, awaited the unfolding of their destinies, each moment stretching into an eternity as they pondered what the future held for them. As the days passed, the weight of Joseph's interpretations began to manifest. The cupbearer, filled with a cautious hope, counted down the days with a mix of apprehension and anticipation. His heart raced with every passing hour, the promise of restoration within his grasp. On the 3rd day the prison gates groaned open and soldiers entered, their presence a herald of change. The cupbearer was summoned, his heart pounding in his chest. He was led out of the dungeon and presented before Pharaoh. Just as Joseph had foretold, he was restored to his former position, the cup once again in his hand. The sense of duty and reverence returned, but this time, it was accompanied by a newfound appreciation for the fragility of fate. Meanwhile, the baker's fate, equally sealed by Joseph's words, loomed ominously. On the 3rd day he too was summoned, but his journey led to a starkly different end. The execution was swift and merciless, the birds descending as foretold, and the grim scene played out just as Joseph had described. The baker's life, a stark reminder of the precariousness of destiny, came to a tragic conclusion. Back in the prison, Joseph's reputation grew. His gift of interpretation, seen as a divine blessing, brought a new sense of hope to the inmates. Yet, despite his accurate predictions, Joseph remained a prisoner, his own fate still shrouded in uncertainty. He continued to interpret dreams, each one a whisper of the divine, each one a step closer to his own destiny. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Genesis 40. We hope you felt the depth and intrigue of this ancient story. If this video captivated you, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support is crucial for helping us share these timeless tales with a broader audience. It's a small effort on your part, but it means the world to us. Stay tuned for more, and thank you for watching.